Well, hello there, Apple Bites. This is your Apple Bite, Writ and Writ Ralph, talking to you straight from our show here, the Writ and Writ. A show where you and I and you take a lot of having fun together, put it together, get creative, have fun, and throw some dice.
Right.
I gotta say, I've been looking forward to talking to Trevor and Megan for a while now. You guys may remember them, and we've actually brought their advent calendar and showed it off here on the show. So it's great to have you guys on.
I'm delighted to be here. This is going to be so much fun.
I completely agree, especially after the geek out we had in the green room. So
we preloaded the conversation. It's going to be great.
You know what? Let's dive right into this. Why don't you guys give people the spiel so they can understand who you are, what you do, all the good stuff. Let them have it.
Megan Bain.
Sure. Yeah. So we're Ember Glow Gaming, Megan and Trevor. As you said, Ember Glow. Well, we are a TTRPG creation company that literally started as a side gig for me when I was pregnant with our first, who is now about to be 10 years old. I know it's crazy. It really was just as Trevor said in the green room, my brain is both a little entrepreneurial, so I knew that I wasn't going to do very well as a stay-at-home mom. So I started doing some laser CNC work at the back of my dad's plastic manufacturing plant when I was pregnant, just to keep myself busy. Once the kiddo was born, just experimenting, learning how to do anything and everything. I mean, bookmarks and spoons and cutting boards. I just made whatever. And as we kept having children, I kept just sort of doing this hobby, would go to markets, eventually had an Etsy shop. And by the third child, we was like, well, if I'm going to keep doing this, at that point, I had just made enough money to pay a babysitter. It was like, we got to decide to try to make something out of this or not. So we bought a laser CNC and put it in our dining room. And
those were fun years.
And those were fun. That was like the origin of it actually being a business and not just kind of a hobby. Started low-key small batch wholesale orders for little bookstores. About almost like a month or two after I invested lots of money in my own machine, COVID hit. And so then like nothing was happening, but we just kept going. We started making craft kits for families, posted it on like Facebook and said, hey, if you're stuck at home with your kids, send us your address. We'll send you a Harry Potter themed whatever, or this or that. And so we just kept making stuff. It's actually where our now released dexterity game Stack of Cats was born. Yeah, and then about a year and a half into that, we had our first D&D game with some friends that we met. Trevor had been watching
I was
Critical Role
way back, like
probably
OG
like 10
Critter.
years now.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this D&D thing? What are you talking about?
She was very suspicious initially.
I was very suspicious. And to be fair, we are both like fantasy book nerds and big board gamers, but had never done any kind of TTRPG. So this was new territory. Again, we just met a couple and they introduced us. We got to play our first campaign, and I can't not come up with ideas or say, well, why don't I try that? So within a campaign or two, I was making us rolling trays and campaign journals. Within a couple months, I was like, hey, I could sell this on my Etsy shop. And I guess the rest is history. We slowly started making our own goods. We got big enough to direct manufacture and design our own goods. We've released a number of Kickstarters, and just fell in love with the community. Like Trevor's the TTRPG player. He's the GM. He does the voices.
I am the reason for the corruption that has seeped into our lives.
I like how you put it. You know, of course, and he stated it like a DM.
Yes, and I was like, play me as a ranger with a hood on in the back corner, just watching, speaking only when I have to speak. Like, I'm the back gal a few words. Let me run the show from the background. So. Yeah, I don't know.
That's always how it starts, right? You said, "Oh, I'm just gonna check it out from the background. I'm not really gonna get into it," and then next thing you know, it's about
deep in the weeds. I don't know, and it really grew because we care a lot about people and taking care of people, and we care a lot about quality of goods, and we were in this community of like immersion and storytelling, and it meant for us like if you're gonna put something out into that space, it needs to fit that vibe. Like it needs to be immersive. It needs to evoke like the story itself and the goods, and it needs to bring people together and get them excited because anybody can go buy dice anywhere or any of these things, right? So for a little while I was like, are we nuts, like starting a
Yes,
business in a
we
way
are. But
oversaturated market? But we place because people that are genuine and people that care about people, like it goes somewhere and it does something different in the space. So
I have to say, you're telling the truth, and that market is oversaturated. But at the same time, the D&D people, the role playing people, are hungry, and
yeah,
they really love when someone like you guys take what they're doing and do something more with it, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that something more. Like I was telling you in the green room that it was great to see the advent calendar, because until that point, these advent calendars that we were running into was these stupid things that they were called D&D advent calendars, but they weren't. They were just like some guy in the back putting some stupid toys that didn't make any sense into it, and you were pulling them out. And if you got lucky, you might get a sucky die. But you didn't just stop there though, because the first one had you putting a character together. If I'm remembering that right?
yeah, you got it. It was just a goofy character setup. Like it wasn't ever meant to be like we're going to build you a D&D 5e character, because that's much more complex than I could do
Totally.
in that context. It was just meant to be like goofy, and so like let's describe a character that's going to spark some creativity and make you laugh.
Yeah.
And that was the be all and end all, and that was fun. It was so much fun.
But I mean, we literally like made charts and like we printed 8 sheets of printer paper per calendar, like folded them, stuffed them in envelopes. We are from the ground up. We have learned a lot in our process of saying we want to do something different, and have done it all ourselves. So it's been pretty special as part of that process.
And that actually, just to give you some like boots on the ground context, I'll move the computer here, but like that, all of that area right there is our living room. It used to be literally covered in like fold up tables that were just like stacked with calendars, and like that was what we would do for all of like November and December, was just like do calendars in our living room for hours on end. It was like, oh, that was such a crazy time. It was amazing, but like it was nuts. It was absolutely nuts.
I have to say, you guys have sold out, and I know you've sold out because I wasn't able to buy the first one and I wasn't able to buy the second one. So I know you sold out. How does it feel? Because I know that usually what happens is you put a product out and you're like you end up with a couple left over because that's just the nature of the beast. But here you are putting all this stuff together and people want more. That's always an interesting place to be.
Yeah.
I guess it's just confirming that people want something that has quality to it and like obvious thought. So even this last one, I think Trevor was talking to you a little bit in the green room, how he was like, yeah, I'm going to put together a little choose your own adventure. And then like hundreds of work hours later, he puts out this massive thing. And we had never built a twine. We had never done we never done this before. And that's just kind of how we evolve. We're like, that sounds like a really cool creative thing. We've never done it. Let's figure it out and do it.
Yeah.
And then hit a niche.
Yeah. Twine, just as an FYI, was the platform in which we built basically the HTML bits and pieces, the coding for the story.
Right.
It's just an online platform available to anybody. It's a free resource. But I mean, all that to just give context to the fact, like I'm not a computer guy. Like I don't code. Basically, if something goes wrong, I ask the Googles how you fix the thing, which works. It was fine. We mashed through it. But it is a little bit of a crazy and a lot of labor of love for us.
And it's like encouraging to do something. We want to level up every time we do it. So now we've set a precedent for ourselves. What more can we bring to the community? Because obviously we hit on something people enjoyed. I've enjoyed watching people that open advent calendars, like the ones you're talking about, that are just total crap. Like they get them and the numbers are all wrong, or the dice are just like have all these chinks in them, or there's like 2 dice and a bunch of random stuff. So like we actually cut, that was my first time making my own set of sharp edge dice for this calendar. It's our first time writing the story. Every element, because we had a story, meant that like you were opening it and it meant something to the mythology, like the Norse story. It wasn't just a random trinket. So it was a labor of love, but it meant we saw that people wanted it, and we're super excited for what we're building for next year. And
you guys
I
are
was
right.
already thinking about this year before last year happened. So it's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
You guys are right, because you guys did up your game for the second one. Just the fact that you guys had the piece of jewelry with the whole thing to immerse you into the whole story. I feel like it just like, again, you guys upped your game, and there's people out there going, ooh.
Yeah, that was fun.
I mean, dice are so interesting that way. Because they're beautiful, for one thing. Like there's a reason that everybody comes to Dice Goblin the moment they start playing the game. But also like they function in the same way jewelry functions, in that like they're deeply and almost immediately attached to a story or a character, as often as not. Sometimes people just buy them because they're pretty, but like they're very much like, for example, a wedding ring at a smaller scale. Like this means something to me because it places me in a story that connects me to Megan deeply. Dice are the same thing. This beautiful thing that connects deeply to a story that you're connected to at the best of times. And so an advent calendar, and part of the reason we did that product in particular, and what inspired us to do that particular kind of crazy, was the opportunity to connect, like to reinforce that connection between like these stories that we can tell as a community, get together around a table or whatever, and tell stories together. And use these things, use chance to like create moments of amazing tension and like victory and all that kind of stuff. I find that kind of thing fascinating. And so the Advent Calendar was one example of that. Just like, could we do the thing just to give people the chance to tell cool stories?
Oh, definitely.
And that just gets me going.
As a writer, it's fantastic too, because it's almost like a big writer's prompt for both the first one and the second one, because now you're getting all these bits and pieces, and you kind of leave it up to the audience or to them to figure out what they can do with this.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the hardest things about writing that story, is because I was telling you about this a little bit earlier. Like, part of the inspiration was just I really love Norse mythology, which was the past year was the Norse mythology calendar, and part of it was I used to love choose your own adventure books. When I was a kid, where you'd like you'd get two choices, like, do you like go on the Ferris wheel at the weird carnival, or do you like go and like talk to the carnies? And so you'd flip to like page 64 and you'd work your way through
page 14 and page 13.
Yeah, exactly. And I loved those as a kid, and like it's funny, I went back and read them after just in the past year, as I was kind of thinking about that stuff, and I'm like, these are so dumb. But like the concept though is like, as a kid, it's wonderful and I loved it. But like conceptually, it's so neat that you would there could be this branching decision tree that could take you in a bunch of different directions. And so I wanted to like marry those things to pull the D&D in a little bit, attach it to some dice rolls, and see if I could create something that people could get into. That was the theory, anyways.
Oh, you did a great job with both of them, and I like the fact, as we were talking about in the green room, that you are now making it even bigger, and you both just mentioned it as well right now, and you're bringing people in, because I feel like you kind of realized I need some help.
I know as a kid.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I know as a kid, one of the things I used to do is like, we get these textbooks every year, and then we use them, and then we write all over it, and then we give them back, and then we give it to someone else. My favorite thing to do was like take a book, go to a random page, and say, "How do you keep an idiot busy?" And then turn to page 90 something. And I made them go through all these pages, and when they got to the end, they got right back to the first page. How do you keep an idiot busy?
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I absolutely would have been the idiot that tracked that all the way through.
It's like I don't know, like who, I wouldn't know. It was whoever the next year. So
proud tradition.
Oh, definitely.
Tradition, right?
But the idea came from those books, because I used to love those books. Yeah. Yeah, I remember Transformer. I remember Transformers one I had. I had to do it like 4 or 5 times to get a good ending. I kept getting bad
Yeah,
endings.
right.
I kept making bad decisions. Like, oh, the Decepticons won. I was like, again. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh.
Did you do that thing where you like put your finger in like 5 different sections so that you could like work your way
Right.
backward in the story?
Yep.
You're like, nope, that was the bad ending.
It was so
Which
much
one? Nope,
fun.
that was the bad ending.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Oh my God. Yeah, so you guys are moving this forward. You guys are doing this thing now where you're bringing other people in, and it already sounds epic because go ahead, explain a little bit to the audience what they're looking forward to in about a couple of months.
Well, like the big thing we were realizing, and we did a lot of this last year that was awesome and exciting and way more fun than us just trying to come up with a bunch of cool stuff, was we had the opportunity to partnership. Like you have our thing scrolling here. You'll see that we have a merch collection for Jack the Whipper. If people
I like
follow
him.
any
He's
Ren
pretty
Fair
cool.
stuff and know Jack, like it gave us an outlet for like a new set of merch we wouldn't have made otherwise. Like working with a creative partner was really cool. We worked with a number of other people. We've got a thing lined up with the kids table who you've talked to before. And so we were realizing like this is a community that thrives off of community. And as a
Yeah.
business, it would only benefit us more to thrive off of community and encourage other smaller, bigger creators in the space by coming together and making things together. And so 2026 is incredibly jam-packed with lots of really cool stuff that's happening. The advent calendar being one of those opportunities where, I mean, right now there's artists, there's writers that are all fighting AI, like trying not to become obsolete and get to use their skill sets in a space where they're excited to use it. Like a lot of them are into fantasy, whether storytelling, book writing, illustration, directly like related to D&D or not. And so to be able to go out and say, we've got this really exciting project, we could try to do it all in house, or we could go out there and see and utilize all these really creative people and showcase all these really creative people and make a product that's like exponentially more valuable because it's a community thing. And so we've already lined up a really amazing artist who's going to do the box and some of the characters for the story.
Nice.
Trevor was talking about Everett Patterson. He's amazing.
Yeah, look him up. Like, freaking phenomenal.
We have a couple of projects we're doing with him. And then Trevor will be like utilizing his skills to oversee the writing part, but we're hoping to bring in 4 or 5 writers to take different legs of this choose your own adventure. So you're going to get the flavor of all these different people within this story that's built together. And it just, it's really exciting. It makes the whole process more fun. The sessions we've already had, brainstorming things. We've got a really cool, he was talking about the community in Houston. It's called Circle of Barhaven, and they play D&D multiple nights a week. They try to have it in pubs, restaurants all over town for people to have an access, like a place to access D&D if you don't have your own campaign. So 2 of their members came over to our house and just for hours, like sat there and meta, like gamed the whole thing, worked out the meta structure. Like it was so cool. We sat there and drank wine and like got to talk to these people about this cool world that they were making up and helping Trevor like come up with what do you get sucked into? What's the thing that you have to choose?
Let me get the whiteboard just so you can show you the chaos.
Here we go.
It's really funny. Give me 10 seconds.
Of course, we all need to see the whiteboard
yes,
because as writers and
whiteboard.
creators, that's what we want.
But yes, the story will be based in the Feywild this time. And so there's obviously a lot of fun to be had there.
Okay, I will put this up. It is incomprehensible, so I won't be giving anything away, but like this is the insanity that got vomited onto a whiteboard from our brains.
Wow.
I promise there's like meaning here, but you can sort of see like this is like half of it basically. There was another whole whiteboard over here that connected, and so you can see that there's 3 major lanes and that there's a bunch of stuff that's connected to all these pieces. This is all going to turn into like a really phenomenal story that I am super excited to tell here. Okay, we're back down. I'm good.
Yes. And not to mention like the creator people, but also just the people that are tech savvy. Like we're going to find someone who could make this even more of an experience as far as how you log in, do the story every day. We are not tech people. We decided to do this last minute, and I can't tell you the amount of people who are like, that was horrible. You know, like we had some naysayers because it wasn't super
Slick. Say.
And we were like, I am so sorry. Like,
You
white
are
flag,
absolutely right.
you're
Yes.
absolutely right. That is not our gifting, and we tried to do it ourselves. So next year, we'll happily hire someone who's better than we are. I'm very sorry. We tried really hard. But we
I
learned
was
a
saying
lot
the
of
same
things that
thing.
we
I'm
want
like,
to.
dude, if I can hire somebody and I have the money, I will hire. And
Yes.
Yes, and yes. So yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah. I'm super excited about being able to bring people in, and partially because it's the Feywild, and the whole point of the Feywild is like very chaotic. There's a lot of lateral thinking in terms of the way that realm is constituted. That
True.
there's a lot of room for any writer to come in and say, I'm just going to imagine this the way I want to imagine it, and I will happily tell them, as long as you have this starting point and this ending point and a couple of other small parameters, have at it.
I can already see a sugar plum fairy type of thing.
Yeah.
Ralph, really quick thing. Ralph, do you used to have a similar board? I don't see it behind you. You used to have a board.
I forget. So back there, we love to do this.
There we go.
We love to do this all the time, and what usually happens is we'll write a story together, and that's the last story we're working on together with the corgi that the guys hated.
Yes. Did you erase the corgi? The corgi.
Oh, he's still there. Yeah, he's not dead yet. He is not dead yet.
Well, you're doing it wrong then.
They were like, "Oh, he's gonna die." I'm like, "Hey, look, man, I didn't put him in there."
The more we wanted to kill him, the more people wanted to keep him alive. So it was.
That's what happened. See, it wasn't even me. They were like, "Oh, get rid of him." Everybody else was like, "No, don't get rid of the corgi. Make him a hero."
The entire internet would not let you lose the corgi.
No.
And they got upset. They're like, "What the hell, man? It was a joke, Ralph."
It was a joke. It was right after the live action Cowboy Bebop series. We all hated it. Shadow especially hated it. So he was like, "Yeah, why don't you add a corgi?" Like everything he was throwing at was just a joke, making fun of that Netflix show. So that's what the corgi
internet went and ran with it.
Yeah. I remember Ralph. You can't joke with
They just want to do.
You cannot joke with Ralph sometimes. He'll take you seriously. Like,
had nothing to do with me this time.
Like one time, like he asked us in the chat because he has these videos on Instagram, and he asked us like, "What music should I use for this?" And nobody answered. It's like, "Oh, nobody's answered." Okay, I picked like the most random video game, anime, Japanese music, whatever, as a joke, and he used it. And it was like so. I was like, I was just kidding, but he used it, and it turned out good. So
we got Son of Satan over there going, "No, don't kill the
corgi."
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun here.
Awesome. That's what it's for. That's what it's about.
I love exactly what you guys are saying. I like that flow, that working with the audience, working with the people, working with my fellow creators to do something. And like with this, we worked the story together, and then in the end, I put the story together. But it was all the bits and pieces they want me to put together. Like they wanted me to kill the corgi. The other side of the audience didn't want me to kill the corgi, so the corgi became a big hero.
Did you become did
the script to the other side?
Immortality or something like that?
No. He just saved the other character.
Oh boy!
I think he saved the what was it? The pirate? The pirate cat girl.
Right.
Pirate cat girl.
Pirate cat girl. My favorite one is the sentient space possum.
If I was a GM, you've described like 8 sessions right there of me having a plan, and then within 5 minutes of starting the story, realizing that I didn't have a plan anymore, and frantically improvising NPCs for 4 hours. Repeatedly.
That's what it felt like, because you sat there, you go, okay, I think I have an idea which direction they're gonna go. But as a DM, as you know that you never know what the players are gonna do.
Absolutely not.
And I think that's one of the reasons I like what you're doing, is because it takes that into account. It has that whole idea that it's not the same thing. If you do it twice, you're not going to get the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's the difficulty with one of those stories is that you have to manage the decision tree. I have a lot of respect for people who are writing like massive space operas, like your
Hey, Ned.
yeah, right, yeah. Your Mass Effects and
Oh yeah,
your Baldur's Gates, right, where it's like they are building like just scads and scads and scads of writing elements that you could possibly go through. And like I only did like 9 possible paths in the calendar and it broke my face.
yeah.
So like that's yeah, with this it's you want to honor people's choices, but you have to railroad people to some degree just so that you have a beginning, a middle, and an end effectively.
But they
And
still
it's
can play
funny.
it a number of times.
Yeah,
And get a different outcome.
yeah. And we're
And it's
doubling
funny
down on that
because
this time.
one of the things I decided to do, like with the last game that I've been working on, is that I took one of my stories that I had already written, and I was like, okay, this world is already created. And you know, as a writer, what you do is you write stuff, and you write stuff that never sees the light of day either. So I sat there going, they can't possibly go in any direction that I haven't seen for this book. And it's worked so far because you know there's always something that you put on the little bottom going, this is why this happens, and they'll do something and I go, I can put that in now.
Bouncing it off your players.
Exactly. I'm like, yeah. And it's so they just act out the story for me, which is fantastic.
Yeah, well, for sure. That makes it great. There's been a couple times. So I the way that I'm mostly able to manage
See, wait, I'm gonna have to call John Wick on you, Ralph. No. The corgi's alive, man.
Corgi's alive.
Good
next time.
Exactly. Go ahead, Trevor.
Yeah, all I was going to say was like one shots is the one time that I really get to DM nowadays, although it's been a little while since I last got to. And like the thing about one shots, they're wonderful. You're not doing a ton of character work, so you mostly have to lean goofy just to kind of make it fun.
Mm-hmm.
Even in those circumstances, trying to like create like parameters in which I'm hoping the party like works in, it never works. Like we had one, we just do it at a local bookstore, which we just love it there because it's this tiny little bookstore in this tiny little town, and there's still nerds that just like kind of flock to the D&D things. But they like, I had this little setup where it's like they're villagers in a tiny hamlet. They have to like find the evil guy who's doing the thing, and like they murder hoboed this sucker so hard they burned the whole village down. Like I thought I had built some like self-preservation and connection to their location and I had not, apparently, because they just came in and like, no, we can solve this problem with fire.
Burn, baby, burn.
Fireball.
And I'm sure every DM can relate to that. Yeah, Ralph's like, I would absolutely do the fire.
Fireball.
I guess I wear the shirt.
But you guys are all in the same room. Fireball. You're gonna all get hit by the fireball. Fireball.
No.
It always bugs me out how you know, you think as a wizard they would understand the whole concept, but it always amazes me that they always choose to burn their fellow players.
High intelligence, low wisdom, man.
Oh man, but yeah, it's amazing. I love it, and I love what you're doing because again, you know, it gives that player agency type of thing where oh cool, let me go through this and we can do this and this and this, and this already sounds like something that you know, the audience is going to want to get in on because it sounds like way leagues above what you guys just did.
Yeah, we did the math, and where I had 9 major paths last time, it's going to work out roughly to 27 this time. I think is the math we're working on. Now that's because we're creating multiple branches and then branches within branches is what it comes down to. Right. So like we're doubling down like we normally do, tripling down, I guess, theoretically. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. I really hope. I'm curious to see how people react, what people say. Because the other thing about this community is like even the feedback you receive, you get a couple of rotten apples in there, but 99% of the time, even the people who are saying like this could be better are doing it in such a gentle, wonderful way. Like, hey, what if you tried this other thing here? Or like, I don't know if I like that, but like, kudos for y'all for trying. So
I think it's because they get excited and they want to be a part of it. They go, hey, I like what you did. How about if you do this? That's good.
Yeah, and the best thing you can do is listen because we can learn a lot from what the community wants and what they see, and
Mhm.
outside observations.
That's
They're,
the audience you want. You don't want that toxic
they're
audience.
funny because they're invested in it. So so that's you have to take it that way sometimes. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. Even the angry comments are good because at least they're not indifferent to you. So there's that.
That's like what kills me. Well, like a lot. It's happening a lot with Hollywood now. When people get angry at them and they get frustrated, like, well, if you don't like it, don't watch it. They'll listen to you. They won't watch it. They're angry because they're passionate. They care. That's what it's about. Like
Yeah, don't shoo them away.
No, they're angry because they care. You have to try to look at it that way, not take everything like, what I'm saying, just step back from it a little bit. They're angry because they care. The worst thing is to be indifferent, to not care at all, to not comment, and like, oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah.
If you tell them to go away, they will go away. If
We've
you
seen
don't
it.
like it, don't buy it. They will not buy it. They will listen.
That's where the Star Wars people are right now. They're like, oh yeah, you want us to go? We're gone.
That's been a long, slow death. I don't want to talk about
Oh my God. We're gonna make Star Wars for adults. That's why you see all those Rey Skywalker toys all on the shelf. What do you? I don't know. We're gonna make Star Wars for us. Nah, there's one thing about George Lucas. I mean, I know when I was a kid, there were people that were older than me. They hated the Ewoks, but I loved them, and like those Ewoks like sold and stuff like that. Like, like. And then when I got older, like I hated Jar Jar Binks, but kids love them, man. You have to make it. You have to make it on different levels. It's not just for like kids are the ones who kids are the ones who are gonna buy the merchandise. So.
Or the parents for the kids, at least.
That's right. Yeah.
And I see this thing over here with the kids table.
Yeah.
I was like, and we've talked about with the kids table a lot of times because we love the idea, especially here, because I like the idea of being able to teach the game in ways where it's easier to do so. And that looks like what this is right here.
Yeah. Have you all had a chance to walk through this project with Kids Table, or has it come up with them?
I think we talked about it, but it was briefly.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it briefly right now then.
There you go.
We're only teasing it. So.
We're only teasing it. Yeah. Right.
See, that's exactly what it is, because even what I'm showing here is a tease. So.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, it's exciting. We've been working with Ryan and Allison. I guess we're coming up on at least 9 or 10 months, probably.
Pushing a year.
And we're hoping to release this summer. But obviously, they are both educators. They've been playing D&D with their kids for years. They've got so much insight and like practical experience on what that looks like. They're really passionate about what D&D can do for kids and for families and bringing people together. And so we've been very excited to come alongside them and bring our knowledge of making beautiful things, creating
doing the
products,
side of stuff, yeah.
Being the investors, like partners and everything, to kind of bring that IP to life, which is you're seeing little bits of, and that's partly the amazing artist Sarah Turner that we partnered with, who also helped bring this to life. But it is what I'm trying to think of how much we want to say before we really get into
how much to reveal.
I mean, it's gonna be a starter kit compatible with D&D 5e, and it's gonna be a different learning module than I think a lot of the ones that are out there that are gonna help you get past the slog of all of the rules and the books and just allow people to jump in, especially families and people who have never GM'd or played and just start an adventure.
Which is all important.
All the writing is done by Ryan and Allison, and it's a really cool. It's almost like a curriculum book and an adventure married together in a really, really cool way.
I'm saying it's all important because this is exactly what especially as a DM, because one of the problems is when you get the new players, because you can't drop them into all that stuff that comes with D&D. And I always like I'm bigger on the role play aspect of things, but at the same time, you do have to learn little bits and pieces of how the math works, how the dice work, how all that stuff, and I feel like sometimes the game itself kind of like scares people away.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, we're hoping for a point of entry that really gets rid of that stumbling block. Might be a little bit curious, but just don't feel like they can tackle it, like it's too big, or too hard or maybe not even safe for their kids. They don't realize like how great it is for, kids from 7 to 13 is kind of our main target as far as the younger audience goes. And we got really excited earlier talking to our art director and just the idea that there's so much to offer in being in community and telling stories and learning what it's like to deal with trials and enemies and to be brave and to deal with conflict. Like you teach young people to do that and you get to do it with them, then you get to keep doing it when they're teenagers and when they're young adults, people out into the world that are good at dealing with issues and dealing with people. It's just a really cool idea, like something that goes even deeper than just, oh, that's cute and fun. Like you're actually doing something meaningful.
Yeah, it is cute and fun. Like Ryan did pretty much all the writing for the story elements of the thing. So he did a ton of world building. He did a whole lot of like just character design and creation. You're seeing some of them on the teaser there, and did a phenomenal job. Like the comment I had for him when I had read his first rough draft was like, I want to play this game as a character. Like it's coded a little bit for kids, so like it can certainly reach downward, down to about probably 6 if you had an intelligent 6-year-old. But like you could sit down with anybody and really enjoy playing through the thing, which I'm excited about. But like even that thought of D&D subculture, it's in the mainstream now, which is super cool to see. We're riding this really neat Renaissance wave where like there's a generation who like played with it in like the 80s, like back in that kind of era, coming up and wanting to connect that with their kids.
Right.
And we did have the thought that Megan mentioned, like, what if this was the way that you told stories with your kids, like continuing throughout their lives? What if this was the way where you, like right through into their 20s, you're still like doing the equivalent of reading stories with your children? Like, what a remarkable thing to have that. They would love the idea of being with family and with friends and doing stories together. And I have not seen that connection elsewhere in the D&D world. And I haven't seen a tool that does it, which makes me really excited about what this could be as far as a bridge of that gap where it's like, okay, there's D&D subculture that like some people I'm sure probably still think, it's a little weird. Like, I'm not sure if I'm really down with the whole fantasy side of things, but maybe I'm kind of on the fence. You could really mainstream it and push it into the area where it's like, this is what you do with your kids. This is just a fun Saturday afternoon thing. So like I'm super stoked because I get to GM this with my kids to like play test that sucker and see how it runs.
That's the way to do it.
I get to GM it because I have never DM. That is like way outside my comfort zone. And the whole idea of what we've written is that it's taking someone like me and not him who can he reads every book to them in 10 different voices and all the characters, like they get the full experience with Dad. But I'm the true tester to say, like, can I do it? Can I go through it and feel confident enough to continue moving this thing forward? And I feel like even my art director, we talked about her earlier, she's been the one designing the book itself, and she's a player. She's never DM'd. And she said as a player, she's been learning so much about the game because it breaks down smaller elements about, these bonus actions, or this is how you use this. And she's like, wow, I'm going to be a better player for having read through this just because of the way it's spelled out. So I think it has a lot of different benefits for a lot of different people.
That's exactly what you want. That's what you want it. It's easier to jump into, and I feel like sometimes the game itself tries to kind of like becomes its own worst enemy.
Sure.
Yeah. And the last thing you want, which is like, I feel like what the comic people are doing is they're kind of aging themselves out. They're not really paying attention to the next generation coming in, and they're sitting there going, why aren't the young people buying comics? I'm like, well, you're not really engaging the young people to buy comics. You're chasing the older people because you want their money.
That's super interesting. So I'm not much of a comic guy. Like you're probably far more. Like, how's that happening in the comic world? Like, what's the thing that makes you think it's too coded towards the previous generation as opposed to the next?
Well, here's the thing. They like our generation, which is the generation they chase so they can buy all the stuff. But then they cater their stuff to the younger generation, but they expect us to keep buying the books.
Hmm.
And I'm like,
Same.
dude, this is not for me. This is not my story. You know, this is not my character anymore. You changed it so much that it's somebody else's character. They should be buying it, but they're not spending time trying to capture the younger generation.
I mean, this was a long process coming, but it really started with someone. Don't have all the facts before me, but basically they did a study a long time ago that they found out that there were a lot of women that liked comic book characters. The study didn't show that they were buying comics. They showed that there were a lot of women that like comic book characters, and they basically said okay, and I mean, they tried to cater towards them who don't buy comics, and they like just like kind of like pushed us aside, and that's kind of like where it started. It's just been a it's been a snowball
Interesting.
going down and down and down. They were to cater to this ghost audience that is not buying comics instead of appealing to us, or instead of trying to find a middle ground. So
That's interesting, huh?
yeah, comics have always done this in one way or another, but it's just like a bad, but like DC blatantly does it. Marvel kind of does it where every 5 years they reset. They have like
Yeah.
a reset, and they're just like DC would do it blatantly. DC's like, no, continuity start over. Marvel would do it, but you really only catch it if you were like reading constantly. You would only catch it. Like there'd be certain things, like certain characters that have met each other, that they know each other in years. They would meet each other again, like 5 years later. Like I think like Black Cat has met Venom like 5 times now, but it's not for us. It's for because the theory used to be that that there's always going to be a new wave of readers coming in, like every 5 years or so.
Sure.
So they've always done that to an extent, but to this extent, but not to the extent that they would completely turn the whole generation off to chase this young generation. It's crazy.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's something about the writing itself. Sorry, I started asking the questions at a place where I'm supposed to be the interviewee, but it's something about the writing itself that's like geared wrong, basically, is chasing the wrong kind of reader. Is that what I'm hearing?
I don't think it's chasing the wrong kind of reader. I think the whole thing is that if you want that reader, then chase that reader. Don't come to me and go, you should be buying this book. I'm like, it's not made for me.
I would even argue that it's not even catered to the right reader as well, because like there was a period where it was supposed to be chasing my generation, and my generation just wasn't interested. We didn't want the same type of stories that were already done, nor did we want something basically fresh and new, and we weren't getting that supplied to us, so we moved off.
Yeah, because what happens with and Tony's touched on it. What happens with Marvel and DC is that this is the same universe that I read, the same universe that my parents read. It's just changed over the years, and they do this and that, and they're making things a little different so they can keep moving it forward. I feel like the reason manga is doing well is because here's the manga, it's done, and they move on to the next thing. It's not like here's Iron Man done for the 45th time differently.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it becomes beating a dead horse, because where it would be far better to actually just try and tell a different story altogether.
Yeah, I think the best example is what they did to Peter Parker. For a long time, Peter Parker was aging with us. He graduated, he went into college, he got married, he had kids. He was aging with us, and then somebody decided, well, no, Spider-Man should be a teenager for his whole life. So somebody decided that, and we're sitting there. No, that doesn't make any sense, because even when he was a teenager, he was only a teenager for a certain amount of time. Sure. And it wasn't that long. I think it was like 2 years. It was a teenager.
If you read the comics back then, it did happen organically, because, like Stan Lee said, if it was up to him, he'd keep him in high school. If you read the letters pages, they didn't want him in high school. It's like, would you come on, man, get him out of high school? Come on, man, move this on, get out of here. So they settled on college, and he went to college. I was like college for like 10 years, but they settled there. It was like, come on, get him out of college. Like, this is what.
Hey, there's some people who've been in college for 10 plus years.
So
right. Stop shaming me. It hurts.
Exactly.
A lot of it is the money too. Because like back in the 90s, these people had like, when you created a character, like you own that character, or you own like a big piece of it. Like people made so much money, like Jim Lee, McFarlane. Liefeld is still making money off of with Cable and Deadpool. They had those deals. They don't offer those deals anymore, you know, because they want to take those characters. It's basically like a springboard. They want to take those characters, make movies, and make millions and millions and millions of dollars, and give you like next to nothing. There's no incentive for you to create. There's no incentive for you to come to Marvel and create your best characters. Like, you know, you're better off like. I tell most people, you're better off like go to Marvel. This is what Mark Millar did. Like, he wrote for Marvel, never created any new characters, but showed that he had the skills to write, and then, you know, and then he moved on, and, you know, and he created his own stuff, and now he's like one of the biggest people in Netflix now, one of like the co-owners and stuff like that. So
and you're kind of getting some of that with Wizards of the Coast. They have an audience that they're doing this for, but they want us old timers, us guys that have been around for a long time, to keep buying the stuff. Yet it's not our stuff. So, you know, to bring it back all in a big circle, you know, because, you know, if you look at 5e, you have a lot of the old timers that don't like 5e. We definitely didn't like 4e. Even with 3, we ended up liking 3.5 more than anything, you know. So, you know, but that's just the old timers. They're made a certain way. They play a certain way. So, but at the same time, Wizard keeps chasing that audience, but at the same time, they want the new audience.
Having their proverbial cake and eating it too.
Exactly. And see, you guys, and what happened is all the third, which is why that whole big thing happened a couple of months ago or a year ago, where the third parties were doing it right. They were making things, they were creating things, and then D&D went, wait, not D&D. Wizards of the Coast went, wait a minute, we should be getting some of that money.
That was a kerfuffle and a half.
Yeah, exactly. that was really interesting to see, and I kind of loved it. I'm not going to lie to you, because it was that very grassroots. D&D has always been a grassroots thing. Like, all it was a tool that says, like, hey, you could tell stories with your friends this way.
Yep.
Here's a universe. Here's some numbers you can stick on top of it. Go have fun.
Yep.
And I think the attempt, the really ham-fisted attempt, like to say, hey, you can only use these tools in a certain way and in this certain thing, that was eternally destined to fail. And I've got to think that whoever was making the decisions associated with that had no idea, hadn't a blessed clue what they were doing. Like, the success of that was always linked to, like, be one and like the proud progenitor of this thing, and make content and let other people make content in that same universe, and it'll flourish and you'll make money. Like, it's not like anyone was going to walk away from those books and those content if they were good.
Right.
If WotC kept publishing them and said, like, yeah, there's 100 other people, or there's 1,000 other people doing it.
Yep.
But we did it first, and we're doing it the best. Like, that's a good business model. Saying, no, you can't, because laws and lawyers, is a really bad thing to tell a bunch of nerds.
And you need to pay us. We're going to make money off of your work.
Yeah, you have trained us to be rules lawyers and then sent lawyers after us. That just looks like a big bad evil guy to me. I mean, I don't know.
It's funny to me because all it did was that it took all these creators that were making stuff for D&D for 5e, and all of a sudden they said, well, if you're gonna do this to us, you know, if you're gonna take our stuff and you know, you're gonna own it because it's your stuff, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make our stuff in a whole other thing. We're gonna create our own thing, and you saw a lot of that. There's so much stuff that came out of that. There's so many creators.
Egerhard, is the classic example, but there's like Black Flag was another one, I think.
Yeah,
I haven't tracked Black Flag since, but they created alternate industries.
Yeah,
they're saying that's one of the things that hurt Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Things. They were doing things to piss off people. So you know, and a lot of people.
It was a great movie too.
It was a good movie, but there are people that did not see it because of that. Because you get pissed off the fan base.
Yeah.
It's crazy. There are ways to do these things. Like, we see it now and then. We see it. Like, you take like Cobra Kai. You know, like it honors like all the old movies, has all the old characters, but they bring in these young people. They're like, hey, these guys are cool. Look at these young people, and they get you to like the new characters. You know, Ghostbusters. Well, at least Afterlife did it too. Like, hey, here's like all the old school Ghostbusters. They're here, but here's these new characters. Maybe you like to do. There are ways to do this. You know, the bad way is Star Wars. Like, yo, man, these are the new characters now. Forget those guys. Like, Luke Skywalker's a loser. Han Solo's dead. You know, forget those guys. The Force is BS. You know, like, there's no faith.
That's like the groundwork for how not to do it. It's like, we know you want to see the 3 old guys together in a movie. We're not going to let that happen. We're going to kill off the first one before they even get together.
The greatest tragedy wrought in the 21st century. I'll tell you right now.
So, dude, you guys do a lot of stuff. Like, I was on the website and I saw all the stuff you were doing, and it's just like every time I something else will pop up, and I'm like, ooh, what's this? Ooh, what's
Yeah.
And I see here that on your case, you even got Ginny to come help you guys out.
Yeah, we've had the opportunity to partner with some cool creators, and it's neat because a lot of them vet who they work with because they want to share stuff with their audience that is quality or people that are in the community. And so it really is, I mean, obviously you're paying these folks, but it feels pretty special for them to be like, yeah, your caliber is up to par. Like, we're willing to sponsor, we're willing to tell our audience about your stuff. It's been neat for big creators and small creators alike, like to work with people that are just excited for what we're doing.
Yeah. And like the flip side of that is all of our experiences with various and sundry D&D creators have really flown in the face of that old adage that you should never meet your heroes, which is to say, like, all of them have been remarkably kind and down-to-earth people. Right. You know, like all of our interactions, I can't think of one where I've been like, wow, they were weird and standoffish for whatever reason. And so yeah, it's just been so cool because like all of those folks, by and large, they're just normal people who started doing the YouTube thing or whatever platform they happen to be doing, and it became this massive community and following around this piece of creativity that they made. And while their lives are like complex and they're busy and they're doing this cool stuff, they are to a person have been just, hey, like, tell me your story, super cool, very, very easy to interact with. I think it really speaks to a very unique feel to like the D&D world, the industry of just like a group of deeply genuine people. Like, by it, the nature of the thing itself, it is selecting for the kind of people who are just lovely.
I agree. You know, I've met a couple of these guys, and you know, it's very rare that you run into or meet somebody that isn't a pretty cool person.
Yeah. So like Zach the Bold, like we knew him just before he really, really took off. He was already pretty big, but we got to have like a couple-hour conversation with him online. He was so kind. Yeah. And we got to hang out with like Dice Cream Sandwich a couple of times for conventions. And he gave us some like phenomenal business advice. If you want business advice, talk to Kevin, talk to Dice Cream Sandwich.
Yeah, he's got his finger on the pulse for sure.
But it seems like everybody is on your side, I guess. And there is so much that wouldn't have happened if people weren't just kind to us. And that just makes me happy. Like, it makes me happy that we get to make things for those people. And then it makes me happy that we get to, as part of our business, like support the little brick and mortar stores which is part of what we do. We do like direct trade just to people. Like, we'll sell online e-commerce, but then we will also put a fair bit of effort into our wholesale stuff, where we have like stuff like a wholesale website that we'll just sell to your brick and mortar store here or there, everywhere. And we get to take care of those people in a businessy kind of way, because those are the places where the cool stories mostly happen.
And it is, and you know, you guys have a lot of great stuff. You know, I'm telling you, folks, you need to go. I put it into the comment section there, so you guys can go check out the website. Go check out their Instagram, because dudes, this stuff is just like it's quality. You know, because I've seen dice that you can't even read the numbers, and it's so annoying, especially when they're cool. That's what bothers me the most, is they're cool dice, but you can't even read the number, and you're like,
what is even the point?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, more fun stuff coming up. This was from our first like D&D in a castle coming from small town Texas. We're really lucky that a guy decided to build himself a castle out in the middle of the country. So this Saturday will be our second D&D in a castle event. Crits and castles. And we again, it's just like, I think my mom told me it never hurts to ask is one of the things she would always tell me. And so like one of the things that has brought about a lot of cool connections was just like reaching out to people and saying, you guys are cool. We like what you do. Do you want to like have a Zoom call sometime and see if we can do something together? Or would you be interested in collabing or whatever? And so there's an author, his name's TD Orell. He's written 2 fantasy books and he's working on his 3rd. And he does really funny content, kind of a series of like in the mind of various authors or movie makers or whatever. And I sent him a message on Instagram and I was like, I watched this one that you did about Tolkien and I thought it was really funny. You want to do something together sometime? And he's like, oh, yes, of course. And I was like, are you free in 2 weeks? Do you want to can we fly you to Texas? Do you want to come play D&D in a castle with us?
Wow.
And he's like,
that's great.
whoever says no to being flown to play D&D in a castle,
No,
like
no,
we
no.
just
Yeah, I was gonna say just to
met.
fly me to a castle thing. I know a lot of women who'd be like, wait a minute.
He's gonna come and like play at the castle with us.
Yeah.
So,
That's
we've
great.
known him for all of a week and a half.
That will be fun.
Yeah.
I see
So
you
fun
guys
things.
Oh, that's 20-sided tavern that you got up there
my
too. That
God,
was a
yeah.
blast.
Dude, when they were here in New York, it was just fantastic.
Oh, you went to saw it too? That's
Oh
awesome.
my God,
That's so
yeah.
great.
It's such
And
an
I think
experience.
we saw like
Yeah.
the smaller cast. I think we saw it during the week, and the week 2 days later was like their final weekend for the national tour, and they had a bigger, even like everybody, and what we saw was fantastic. So I can only imagine what they had put on when it was in New York.
Yeah, because they were there for a good amount of time. I mean, they were there for a good amount of time.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I see you put the stuff here. Crits and castles.
Yeah, that one sold out. But we do it quarterly, so we got the next one in May. If anybody feels like flying in or driving in or whatever, we'll put you up. We'll find a place for you, and you can come play D&D in a castle. That one's cool. Like we don't really make any money. We typically lose money on those events, but we do them because they're like, it's just so cool to get to do that with people.
Yeah.
Like, that's our real passion.
We want to make it like a really, really cool experience.
That's just fantastic. You know how many people would kill for that? Oh man, I gotta say, like you guys are amazing. I do like the whole thing that you're saying about the community, and I agree with you. The community itself, very few downsides to the community. You do run into a couple, so you got to be careful as with anything. But I love the fact that you guys are about the community. You guys are jumping and talking to people and having fun. It was a lot of work to get us to have you here for the show, but it was fun to do it. So.
Yeah, we missed like ships in the night a couple of times.
Yeah,
I'm glad we made it work.
Oh no, I was like, I'm gonna have you guys on the show. Whether it's now or later, I'm gonna have you guys on the show, and we're definitely gonna bring you back when Kids at the Table come back to talk about their thing and your thing.
Yeah,
we'll have it all together.
That'd be great.
That'd be awesome. Yeah,
we can just bandy back and forth with them
because
they're like just
for her about being on the show again. So,
oh good.
When she's when you guys are getting closer to the Kickstarter release?
It'll be June.
June is the launch.
It's the
and we'll be doing teasers leading up to. So
I figured
sometime before that.
That's what I was about to say. I'll probably bring you guys back on to do like a little tease, like in a couple of months. So that people. So how's it going?
Status update.
Exactly.
There's always a lot to do.
Oh. And as always, you guys are welcome to come on the show. We do a lot of D&D stuff here, and I always like having an extra guest host that knows about whatever we're talking about. So you're more than welcome to come on the show, have fun, and share your wares.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind. We've so appreciated the time we've gotten with all of you. Like this has been just a lovely conversation with nerds, which is like the best kind of conversation. Thanks for just being part of that community and like putting yourselves out there.
Oh my gosh, and sticking with us when it took like 10 emails to be like, this date, no, this date. Wait, did you remember that date? No, this date.
Yeah, but that's the nature of the beast.
That's often the conversations have just for me to be a guest host. Like, so pretty much. Like, no.
Oh, it happens with Tony all the time, and he's here all the time. He's like, I don't think I can make it today, Ralph. I'm like, all right, don't worry about it.
I can make it. I can. Yeah.
So Trevor, Megan, tell the people one more time where they can find you, all the good stuff. Go for it.
We are at emberglowgaming.com if you want to buy stuff and see what we're doing. If you want us on Instagram, we are on Instagram at emberglowgaming. And please, obviously we like selling things to people. That's all kinds of fun. But please, comment on our stuff. We like to just create engagement and talk to people, tell us nerdy things, and what you'd like to see. That's always amazing. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, any other way that we could reach. But that's us, yeah.
Folks, you guys got to check these guys out. And here's one last question, because I know you guys did it for this year, where you brought back the first one. Are you bringing back both of them for the third one, or would that be too much?
I think and we're talking about the advent calendar, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Norse one is out. We
have no more.
We have no more.
Wow.
We won't republish it. We might have one or two in the back room we can fix you up with, but we won't be bringing it back. And that was kind of exciting to have created something to say that was a limited edition and you get it or you don't. And for the next one, we're hoping to have the same thing. It's if you want it, get ready, because we're going to make a set amount, and then when it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
I gotta say, that's what I was saying earlier. It's just amazing. You guys had this thing. People went crazy to get it. And now you're at that point where we sold out. But I do love the fact that because people love that exclusivity. I can't even talk. Exclusivity of things. They go, oh, I got this. You can't get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I will say the story, we've left the story up online, and as far as I'm concerned, it's
not accessible.
Is it not?
No.
Okay.
You can't just get it.
Dang.
The cool thing about making the story, we made it winter based, so it could be evergreen. It's not ho 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 Norse Christmas God whatever. And so our hope is that every year that we build these stories, we'd be able to offer digital access after the fact, but you would only get some part of maybe a dice set to roll through with it or something like that. You're not going to get the full experience of the everyday calendar, but that we might be able to have a library of stories that people would be able to access later or subscribe to or something.
And like I said, the excitement around it was just fantastic. I was talking about it in the green room where we have this community here, and you had a lot of people that were like, do you know about this? Did you hear about this? Do you know about? And it was amazing to see how many mouths were talking about Ember Glow.
Awesome.
That's exciting.
I love
tell me later. I'll hook you up with the story.
I love saying this to you guys, because I know that you guys, I tell this to all people all the time. When it comes to artists, when it comes to us as the creatives, we don't hear this stuff because nobody tells us this stuff. Nobody goes, oh my God, that thing you're doing was working so well. We don't get that kind of feedback, which is the weirdest thing in the world to me, especially as a writer. You give some of your stuff to somebody to read, and you get back, oh, it was okay, it was good, I didn't like it. I'm like, okay, what didn't you like? What was good about it? Give me the feedback.
Yeah, good feedback is worth gold.
Oh my God, yeah. Let's see. I'm looking for, because our friend wasn't able to be here because he had some family things pop up. But I wanted to show off his MadCaps. Let's see, where are we?
Actually, I have a Kickstarter.
Whoa, what was that? Okay.
There's the Kickstarter for it, if that's the one you're looking for.
All right, so do me a favor, share it on your side. Oh wait, no, you put it over here. Okay, cool. That makes my life easier.
You're welcome.
All right, here we go. All right, perfect. And so he couldn't be here today. DM Ray is fantastic. He's been working on this for a while. This is the one from issue 2. Issue 3, which is the one he's working
this isn't
on
the most contemporary one. I'm sorry, that's my bad.
Oh no, but it works because it gives me a chance to show it off. He and his friends played this game. He took the story, and crafted it and made it into these comic books. And folks, this Kickstarter is a blast. And I can show this off. Hold on, because his new cover is a glow in the dark cover.
Oh, snap!
It's fantastic. And if you guys saw the thing, there it is. That is
Issue
a glow
4, right?
in the dark cover, folks. Look how beautiful this thing looks. It looks amazing, dude. I am buying this for sure. I'm as soon as the Kickstarter is up, I am getting the hell out of this. This looks fantastic. He's doing a great job with it. He's going to be on the show again to talk about all this beautiful stuff. As soon as I find the follow page, because right now he's at sign up to get notified. Remember, folks, that when you sign up to get notified, you help the Kickstarter considerably because it puts them in a better place in the algorithm. And it's free. It's free to do. It's free to do. It's free to follow, folks, and it helps out so much. So that's what you want to do. Go follow, and I can't stop talking about this. And one of the tiers that he has, because I talk about this all the time, because me and Nat have already done this, is that one of the tiers he has is that you get to play with a professional dungeon master, and it's part of the tier. You pay into the tier, and he always says the same thing. I don't make money off of this. And it's limited. It's only 6 people, but it is a blast. Nathan down there played a vending machine in his go.
Yes, I did.
Like, he was a vending machine player character? You were?
Yes.
Wow.
So if you have ever seen that time I was reincarnated as a vending machine in a fantasy world, I was that.
Is that an actual career, professional dungeon master?
Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
It's a career now. You know what it is? There's a lot of players and very few dungeon masters, because a lot of people don't want to be the dungeon master. So that leaves it open now to dungeon masters being able to make money, because people want they want to play. They just don't want a dungeon master. And people make money.
More power to them. Stick it
to the actual Kickstarter campaign too, if you wanted to go straight there and click follow, which we just did.
We found the current one.
There we go. There it is, the follow page. Dude, you guys want this. Issue 3 is fantastic. Of course, he's going to have the 1, 2, 3 in the Kickstarter. I will put this into the comment section there so you guys can go sign up, help that out, because I'm telling you, folks, it is one of the most amazing things to do for somebody. And you guys, I know you guys are always asking me, what can you do for creators? And this is something you can do, and it's totally free. You're not going to get charged for it. You're just going to follow up. You might have to sign up for the service, but that's just the nature of the beast.
Well, and with Kickstarter, that's all kind of wound in. So if you support any Kickstarter project, you already have an account.
Yeah,
so
you're already in.
The follow up. And they genuinely, like, Megan and I have run a couple of Kickstarters. Well, more than a couple now. And those follows are they're like gold. They're super, super helpful. Just for getting your project pushed up in the search bar. And getting the word out.
I've seen the follow. I've seen the follow lead up to projects we love. And then it started off with a project we love, which really puts you really up there.
Yeah.
See, folks, help out. You sometimes, I know we don't have the money, but if you just go sign up to get notified, it really helps. All right, folks, that is our show for today. I hope you've had a lot of fun, because I've had a blast. And of course, I have tons of questions, because I always have tons of questions. But we'll bring Trevor and Megan back, and maybe we'll bring them back for one of our D&D shows or one of our roleplay shows. We're definitely bringing them back with the kids and the table. And the table.
Still my beating heart. That'd be amazing.
All right, folks. Of course, on this show, when it ends, I press the button,